Welcome to the Marketing Lab, your go-to podcast for all marketing information. I'm your host, Tyler, and we'll cover different tips, tricks, and strategies to help level your marketing up, examine real-world case studies, and dissect all the marketing implications and how you can best use this information. And lastly, bring in industry professionals to share their knowledge along with entrepreneurs and discuss their marketing journeys in business. Now let's get our lab coats on and jump right in. I was just saying in the previous episode that I almost nailed the intro and I was so close. I was thinking in my head, I got ahead of myself and I'm like, I'm going to nail it. I'm almost there. I got one line left. I can't fuck this up. And sure enough, I did. But one of these days, I'll get that intro nailed down. But today we're going to be talking about lead flow machines, creating lead magnets, and making sure that you have some lead flows, lead magnets, whatever you want to call it, on your site so that you can convert more people, get more contacts in, and potentially close more deals. So first off, let's define what a lead flow machine is. Something that generates an increase in leads in your database. So someone has given you their contact information, whether that be their email or phone number, so you can contact and nurture them. So there's a wide range of people that could be filling this out. It could be anyone from bottom of the funnel to top of the funnel leads, and it's really tough to determine it because at the same time, when you look at it, they are showing an interest in it. So that's at least something that you know, that they could either be really long and really far in their journey in trying to figure out what they want, or they could just be starting their journey, and this journey could, depending on your type of product or service, it could be a year thing, a month thing, maybe it's a week thing, maybe it's 2 year, 5 year, whatever it is. So all you really know is that they do have some interest in this specific service, product, offering, whatever it might be that you are doing with this lead flow. So you're basically collecting their information. And one thing that happens a lot of times, people don't have this lead flow or this lead magnet, whatever you want to call it. All they really have is the contact form. So you might get, say, 100, 1,000 visits on your website, and you might get 0 people to fill out your contact form because they aren't ready to buy right now. I guess this would be more so middle to top of the funnel, because if they are bottom of the funnel, they would be willing to fill out your contact form. So it might be more so middle to top of the funnel. And basically what the different funnels are is, when you look at a funnel, bottom of the funnel, people are ready to buy. Middle of the funnel, they've done some research already. They're close to buying, but they aren't necessarily there. Top of the funnel, they're still doing research. They're just starting in their research phase. So whenever I say that, that's basically what I mean. And I guess they could be at the bottom, but there's a good chance as well that they will fill out a contact form if they are at the bottom of the funnel, ready to purchase your service. I guess if you have a product-based service or product, they aren't really going to fill out your contact form. They're just going to go straight to the buy. So this is maybe more so for service-based businesses as opposed to product-based businesses, but I do have some options for product-based businesses. And some different types of guides or lead magnets that you could have for your website are guides, what you want to consider. You want to answer users' questions and make it so they want to give them your contact information and to access it. So for a lot of my clients, we have custom homes and remodeling, and I know a really hot topic is costs. Everyone wants to know how much this costs, how much that remodeling project costs, how much this custom home project costs. So if you can think about in your business, if you can maybe gate this information, or maybe it's like a secret to saving money on your costs for, say, you're a lawn care business. Maybe it's like a secret to saving money for your lawn care services. So it's just coming up with a different type of guide that has really good, valuable information that the consumer is willing to give them their personal information. So it could be ebooks, guides. Like I said, cost guides do extremely well for us. And I have speaking of guides, I have a guide that you can download as well. It's called the Social Media Secrets. I'm not exactly sure how you can get there, but you can go to newframedigital.com, and then there's also you can go to either social-media-secrets-free-e-book. I know that's really long. You could also go to newframedigital.com/free-marketing-resources, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully that's right. I'm going on and along about that stuff, but you can create ebooks or guides out of it. So a really popular website that you can use is Canva. It's really user friendly. You can put a lot of that good information in. So whenever they do fill that out, it just automatically sends it to them. I have MailChimp that automatically sends it through once someone fills out that contact form or that sign up. I also use HubSpot. HubSpot's a really good, easy platform to use that you could use as well. And basically, you want to provide as much information as possible and showcase your expertise. And you want to give them as much information as possible. You don't want to hold anything back, because if you hold anything back, they're going to be going to someone else to find that information. And you want to be the person to provide all that information to them. So make sure you are giving all and everything and as much information as possible that you truly can give, that you truly know for these specific guides, books, whatever it is. You could also do a checklist. Checklist is also a really popular one. You could do like a comparison contractor checklist or whatever it might be. It's just like, maybe it could just be a home maintenance checklist. I know I'm on this specific industry. That's just something that I'm in quite a bit, but that's another option that you could do. Ecom, you could do sign up for your first 10% off your first order, or what On Shoes does, what I really like is they have like a referral program. So you can give them your friend's email. I'm not going to say what I do, but you give them your friend's email, and then if they buy a pair of shoes through that referral link, you also get 10%. They also get 10%. So that's another option. That's for e-com. So that's a product-based business that you could use as opposed to a service-based business. This is just a way to collect emails. And then if they do end up signing up, then you got their email address. You're able to nurture them a little bit. And we'll get into that a little bit later on what to do once you actually collect their information. Another thing that you could do is case studies. So maybe you have an example for a chiropractor, and you could have how this person's posture went from this to this, and then you could just go over all the different things that you ended up doing. And maybe you just give away so much good information that he or she is able to download this case study, and they can just go out on their own and do it themselves. But then there's also going to be the part of the market that sees the improvement, and they don't want to do it themselves, so they come into you. So that's just an example there. Bonus packs, workbooks, cheat sheets. This could be like a sales script or something really complicated, and then basically you explain it in further. So I know sales scripts can be really complicated and can go into a lot of detail. So that could just be something to help them out. And then at the same time, you could have templates. So it could be email templates, or it could be Canva designs. I know there's a lot of people that do different Canva designs where you can download them, or maybe even I've actually downloaded different templates for Adobe Premiere, where it gives you different what are they called, like lower thirds or different graphics. So if you have a way in your industry to create templates, that's another way that you can generate some email captures or contact information through different platforms of these lead magnets. So those are some of the different lead magnets that you could use and utilize in your marketing. And this is extremely important to have just on your website, because like I said, you could have hundreds, thousands of people come to your website, but you don't have any of these opportunities for them to fill out. That's really not asking for a lot. So when you have this, you're just asking for their first name and email. It's not like you're saying, let's set up an appointment. Appointment can be intimidating for a lot of people, especially if they're just starting their journey in whatever they're doing. You want to make sure that you're offering something of value that's not requiring a lot for them. So you're able to capture their email or phone number, whatever it is. And now what do you really want to do once you're able to capture this information from them? And basically what you want to do, you want to nurture them as much as possible and provide as much information and value to them as possible. So if you collect their email address, so that could be emailing them monthly, maybe weekly, maybe every so often, maybe it's like once every quarter, and it's just making sure that you're staying top of mind and trying to provide as much value as possible. Say they download a cost book or cost guide. You're trying to provide as much value as possible. Maybe you can say, I'll give you a free estimate or free quote, and I'll come out to your place or whatever it is. So it's trying to provide as much value as possible. And maybe it's giving them more information as well to try and nurture and trust. You have to build that like, know, and trust factor. And this is part of what it is trying to stay top of mind, trying to provide as much value as possible, and trying to lay off the ask, because you want to provide as much value as possible. And they might just think, oh, this person's just going to try and sell. But if you just go value, and then when they think you're going to sell, you go value again, they're really going to think, oh, wow, they really want to provide as much value as possible. And then once they get to a certain point and they're ready to buy, they're like, this person already provided me so much value, I'm obviously going to go with them. So that's just one thing that you really want to do, is send periodic emails to make sure you're staying top of mind. You're building that like, know, and trust factor. Another thing that you can do, if you do collect their cell number, cell phones are a little bit trickier because you don't want to be blowing their cell phone up all the time. It's unless they know specifically that this is what's going to be happening. Say if you sign up, you're going to get weekly texts from us or monthly texts from us. So if they know in advance, it's a little bit different. But if they don't know in advance, then you don't really want to do it. Maybe it's just exclusive offers. Say you're running a promotion. Say, hey, you signed up here, I'm giving away $500 for everyone that signed up, and now you can claim it, or something like that, where it's an exclusive promo that they gave you their phone number, where you can say, if you give us your phone, like in the sign up form, you could say, if you give us your phone number, we won't market towards you. We'll just let you know whenever we have a specific promotion being run. And this will just be able to allow you to be on an exclusive list that only people that give us their cell numbers on are able to gain access to. So it would be a specific, I guess, promotion or value grab for that. And I know a lot of people, it's tough marketing with text because you're ending up in their inbox, which is probably the most valuable thing, and emails right behind it. But showing up in someone's text, I know a lot of people just like the vibration. They get that dopamine hit. It's a little bit tough for them, but at the same time, if they keep getting all these spam calls, and I think a lot more people are starting to do this, and it's becoming a lot more apparent for people's texts to be blowing up a lot more because everyone's starting to grab their texts or their cell phone numbers, and everyone's starting to text more often. And now I know I'm getting these texts as well. I'm too lazy to type stop to stop it. Sometimes I do if they are texting me too much, but for the most part, I don't do it. So maybe if you only do it, say, once a month isn't a lot to, say, someone that gave you their phone number. So I would try and find that middle ground that not a lot of people are stopping it, or just give them exclusive offers and promotions that they did try and, I guess that would be one of the reasons why they did give you their cell phone number, to get these exclusive offers. So basically what you're trying to do is trying to build that connection with them to get them to like, know, and trust you. And I think it's a lot easier to do it through emails as opposed to texting, because a lot of times when you receive text, it's usually just exclusive offer or deal or whatever it is. You're not really building that like, know, and trust factor. So depending on what you're trying to go for, if you are doing emails, it's a lot easier to do it there. I would say people maybe more so do unsubscribe from emails more often than text, maybe. I don't know. I don't have the stats on that. It would be interesting to see that, but I think that's one thing that you could do. You want to personalize the emails. And one thing that you could do is include a video of, say, the founder or something about your business, just something that is able to connect them with your business to get them to understand what you guys do, what and how or why you guys are in business, whatever it might be. I know LM&T does this really well, where I don't know if it was when I placed my first order with them, but they have this email workflow that you go through, and it has a YouTube video embedded in it, and it brings you to YouTube where it's a little bit of a backstory on LM&T, why they started, what they're doing, and the impact that they're trying to have. So it's a really nice way to introduce you to the brand and what they do and what they stand for. So I think that's another thing that you could do with the emails. I don't think you could really do it with the text. You could do it and be like sending a link, and maybe depending on the amount of lead flow that you do get, maybe you could do it a lot more personally through texting, where it's like, hey, and you're not sending like a mass text, or you're not sending automated texts. You're actually creating crafted ones where it's like, hey, this is Tyler. I saw that you signed up. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I know that might sound a little bit automated, but there is different ways that you can go around it. And maybe you can even have a little bit of an exclusive offer if they do sign up through the text. Be like, since you signed up for it through the text, maybe it's giving them like a bonus. Maybe you're a fitness instructor and they signed up for a fitness program. Maybe you give them some different meal plans or different meals that they could test out through the text because they signed up through text. So it's just offering and giving a little bit more value for those specific things, trying to build that like, know, and trust factor. And that's a big thing that you really want to do with these lead flow magnets, machines, whatever you want to call it, is you're trying to collect these emails because you have a lot of people that visit your website that don't end up converting because they aren't ready to buy right now. So you want to collect these emails because they are in a research phase. When you look at the market, I believe it's 96% of people aren't ready to buy right now. They're just doing research right now. So you want to be able to collect these people's information so you can build that like, know, and trust factor. So when they do move down the funnel to that point where they are ready to buy and they are ready to actually convert or use you use your business, you've been there, you've provided value to them, and you have them in the system. And there's a lot of times that someone might come on your website and never come back because you don't have that opportunity. And I know a lot of times right now, whenever you go on websites, you'll get hit with a pop-up form, and then you'll close out. You'll get another pop-up form, you'll close out, another pop-up form. And I know there's too many. A lot of websites do probably have too many, but at the same time, they do work and a lot of people do convert on them. So I would recommend at least one pop-up form just to try and get that conversion, because if someone comes to your website, you provide the value, answer their question, and then they just never end up coming back. They end up buying from someone else. It's tough in that point, because you want to collect that email so you can always remain top of mind from them, because they might get that information. They might not have any clue who gave them that information. And then just next time they go and do their searches, they end up finding a spot and they're like, okay, I'm going to get this because I had my question answered previously by this other company that I forget who it was, and that answered my question. So it's just making sure that you're trying to collect those emails so then you're able to nurture them to build that like, know, and trust factor. So when they do move down the funnel, they do purchase from you because you've been there that whole time. You've provided value for them, and it's just a little bit of an exchange. So that's pretty much what I got. This is something that I think you really need to implement in your business, a lead flow magnet, whatever it might be, just something on your website that converts people that are just browsing and maybe they're early in their research phase. So just make sure that you do have one of these different lead magnets on your website. And I did give you some. There are probably some other ones that are out there that you could maybe do some research on and try and find some other ideas. But I feel like I gave you a good base foundation, a good ideas that you could base your lead magnet off of. So just go out there and include some simple form with a little workflow follow-up system and also a pop-up as well. So that's pretty much all I got for you today. Maybe in another episode, I'll go over different email providers that you could use that would be integrated within these workflows and forms whenever someone does fill it out. But as for now, create a lead magnet and build that like, know, and trust factor. So thanks for tuning in to the Marketing Lab. If you got some value out of this episode, share it with your team, colleagues, friends, or anyone you think this will benefit. You can leave a review and let us know how we did. We'll take any feedback so we can create the #1 marketing podcast out there and deliver the most value to you. If you'd like to apply to be on a show and share your expertise, head on over to newframedigital.com/the-marketing-lab. And at the bottom of the page, you'll find a form to fill out. Remember, every entrepreneur needs a lab, and this is yours. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.